Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Great to be with you on the show today. All right. We'll get to The Athletic did another great article on TV viewing habits of college football this year. So we'll get to that a little bit later. You just win the 100-meter butterfly? What you doing?
No. Tried to keep the hair down a little bit, see if it worked. We'll see. I didn't get any pointers from Jimmy Johnson, so I don't think it's going to stay there.
What a mess. Wow. I got to give you credit. It looks really, really bad.
Awful. There you
go. Okay.
Somebody agrees right away.
No, it's Hawaii's volcano Elise towering. It's a weather thing. It's an 800-foot lava shot or something like that.
Jeez.
It's pretty good. So there will be the usual lead-in to this game on Monday night, because right now the college sports world is completely upside down. Indiana is playing for the national championship in football, and Nebraska's undefeated in basketball.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean the college world is upside
Great
down.
point.
Right? 30 years ago, would you have ever thought this? No.
Not a chance.
Okay? It would be Nebraska
Not a
playing for the
chance.
title 30 years ago, and Indiana would be undefeated in basketball. No. So the college sports world is upside down. But there's going to be the usual stories leading in about, is this now the new dynasty, and blah, blah, blah. After a while, the stories become so predictable that I feel like there's no common sense out there. The key in college sports is to keep yourself somehow in the mix. That's the key. Keep yourself in the mix. That way, if you can get to the playoff, you have a shot. We've talked about that with the NFL over the years, how
Absolutely.
a 6 seed in the Steelers won the Super Bowl, a 6 seed in the Packers won the Super Bowl, a 6 seed in the Giants won the Super Bowl, right? Because they just got to the tournament. You need to keep yourself relevant to just get to the tournament. Miami did that this year.
Absolutely.
They got to the tournament. Sustainability is so difficult to do, so you consistently have to keep yourself right around the neighborhood. It's not about dynasties. And we're going to have another new national champion this year, one way or the other.
Right.
The SEC hasn't played in this game in years. They haven't played in the game in years. And that's because things change. You need to be fortunate and stay away from injuries. You need to build a good roster. You need to develop the players that you have. You need to hit the transfer portal judiciously. Penn State's had to go 180 of that this year, but that's not Matt Campbell's MO. Right? They'll always hit the portal. You always have to. You have no choice now. It's part of building your team. But they want to develop players. They want to retain and develop players. And Curt Cignetti's been there 2 years. They've had a great 2-year run. Last year, to be honest with you, their schedule was conducive to what they did.
Yeah.
The 3 most significant games they played last year, one was significant in name only, Michigan. And Michigan almost beat them.
Yeah, that was in Bloomington.
That was in Bloomington, and at the same time, it was the first sign that they were going to crack. Because then they went to Ohio State.
Second half, they struggled mightily in that game.
Ohio State, they went to Ohio State, scored first, and then after that, just got run off the field. Then Notre Dame ran them off the field in the playoff game. Now, this year's team, 1 year older, across the board, change, of course, the big change was the quarterback Mendoza. They bring in Hemby from Maryland. But, I mean, Surratt was there last year. Becker was there last year.
Yep.
E.J. Williams was there last year. Cooper was there last year. I mean, and Nowakowski they did bring in from Wisconsin, the tight end. Right. Fisher was there last year. Hardy was there last year. On and on we go, right? And they got a year older.
Yep.
They grew from the experience. And this year, none of their wins, significant wins, are at home. None.
Right.
They're all away from Bloomington, winning at Oregon, winning at Iowa, winning at Penn State. Neutral game, sort of, with Oregon. That's kind of a home game.
Yeah.
All right. When they played the Big Ten championship game. Or against Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. It's like it's a home game.
Yeah, Ohio State fans do still travel well. So it's a home game, yes, but I still that
was a home game.
It was, and Cinderella is what you root for all the time. Indiana still has that a little bit.
Except it was a home game for this reason. You're telling me Ohio State fans bought tickets to the Big Ten championship game with the idea of that
they weren't going to be going bigger things ahead.
Playoff?
Yeah,
you have to make decisions now as a football fan as to where you buy your tickets.
Yep, good point.
The Peach Bowl was a home game. They traveled in droves.
Yeah,
Oregon isn't going to travel. Yeah, so. Moving forward, every year, as you know, I say every game is an entity unto itself.
Sure.
Every season is an entity unto itself. Assigning dynasties it becomes a ridiculous and fruitless exercise to draw clicks and to draw comments and so forth. It's not realistic. Everything changes. Right? We just talked about the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. Okay? The defending Super Bowl champions. Mm-hmm. That's not the same team that won the Super Bowl.
No.
Because teams change. Veterans leave. Some get traded. Some retire. Some move on someplace else as a free agent. You bring in free agents. You also bring in draft choices. The team is different. It may have some of the key core parts, but it's a new team. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens in sports all the time. The ability to know that it's a new team. And for whatever reason, it is a concept that has been rarely grasped.
Right. Not only the new team, the opposite side of that, every other team that lost to that team is getting better.
Maybe.
Without a doubt. Well, not every other team, but a good chunk of the teams are getting better because they know what the bar is at that point. You look at the Eagles, they were the team that you knew coming in was going to have a tough schedule this year, and they did. And ultimately, a lot of those teams that they played got a lot better.
See, and that's going to be the issue for the Steelers moving forward, which you just talked about, because they won the division.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a first-place schedule next year. They will have a first-place schedule. It means they will have to play the Patriots. They will have to play the Broncos.
Yep.
They will have to play the Jacksonville Jaguars next year. And then two first-place teams in the NFC. One is an assigned one, and the other one is going to be the divisional winner against the division.
I think they're going to have the NFC. The Eagles are going to have the NFC West next year, too. That's going to make their schedule tougher.
Well, I mean, the Eagles won their division, so they do have to play the Bears next year. They do have to play the Seahawks next year, and they do have to play
Steelers,
Carolina.
I think I know they have the AFC South, so they're going to have the Jaguars. They're going to have the Texans,
but that's all.
Titans.
But as a first-place team, they automatically play them.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Yeah. You're going to play the toughest. Yeah, you're going to play the first.
You'll play
opponents.
the first-place team all the way through. They have a lot of work to do there, because you're sitting there today, and everyone, they want to know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do.
Yeah.
He was vague last night, which I expected him to be vague.
Fully.
Right? He has to decide whether he wants to go out and take a beating like that again. You can tell he loves playing in Pittsburgh. You can tell he loves playing for Mike Tomlin, which then brings up the Mike Tomlin part. What's going to happen with him? I always love that part. Well, they're just sick of hearing his voice. No, the people sick of hearing his voice are the media and the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're the ones that are sick of hearing his voice.
Right.
All right. I always find that part always intriguing.
Yeah. Is it frustrating for a fan base when you can't win playoff games consistently? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that.
Well, they've lost their last 7.
Yeah.
And only one of the coaches has been in that spot. That's Marvin Lewis of the Bengals.
Absolutely.
Look, there are two things that travel no matter what. Whether it's weather conditions, stadium, okay, defense, and a running game. The Houston Texans have a great defense. Did I get the game I expected last night? Yes. That's just because that's the way Houston plays. I mean, they swarm. There's only one call in the game where I sat back and went, no, I'm not so sure. And that was the deep ball down the sideline to Austin. I thought Lassiter, that was clearly pass interference.
Yeah, I agree.
And when a team plays great defense like that, to me, officiating-wise, you can't let a great defense like that get away with something like that.
Right.
I mean,
because you're not going to have as many opportunities offensively against that team.
Yeah, I think that is look, the Steelers have been rebuilding that offensive line. It's safe to say it's not there yet.
No.
We saw that all season long. Yeah, they could break off a few runs. Yeah, they could protect Rodgers sometimes. But last night, I mean, the push, the physical push, I mean, the sack where Rodgers went down and not one Texan touched him.
Yeah.
Because he got pushed into his own guys. Rodgers went away from DK Metcalf last night after a couple of drops.
Yep.
He didn't discover Pat Freiermuth till late in the game. He knew where Adam Thielen was all night. And Thielen's done. He's not coming back.
No, and he's a veteran. So that's the understandable part.
Oh yeah, no. Thielen has always been a good route runner, gets himself to spots. I mean,
that's where Rodgers is a stickler. Rodgers is absolutely a perfectionist when it comes to route running. There's no question he's going to watch that stuff.
The defense allowed them to hang in a good chunk of the night. I give the defense a lot of credit. Joey Porter Jr., the last 2 months of the season, played outstanding NFL corner football. Outstanding.
Right.
Jalen Ramsey was no factor. Watt actually played well last night.
Yeah,
I thought T.J. Watt
too.
played very well last night. Patrick Queen's become a leader on that defense, and now they have a lot of questions moving forward. There's no doubt that, you've got to figure out a way, because Derek Harmon, I thought, to his credit, played very well as the season went along. He got better.
Yes.
You have to figure out a way to, if you want to make one more run, you have to figure out a way to keep Hayward, and you do have to talk to Rodgers, because they don't have any other options.
No.
Again, you're in the Atlanta Hawks mode. What does the Atlanta Hawks mode mean? For years and years, and I'm talking, what do you think, 15 years? Something like that?
At least.
Where they were good enough to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I mean, even going back before that.
I was going to say, you even go back to the late 80s.
Dominique
Wilkins. Wilkins, Spud Webb, Doc Rivers days, Kevin Willis.
Right.
Yeah.
Dominique Wilkins, those guys. I mean, they took the Celtics to the brink.
And
then,
Game 7.
Game 7, and Wilkins has a phenomenal Game 7. Yeah. Bird has a phenomenal Game 7. The Celtics win.
That was one of the best Game 7s I've ever seen.
Right.
That duel.
But the bottom line is the Hawks didn't win it.
Yeah.
The Hawks were always good enough to get to the playoffs. People always respected them.
Mm-hmm.
But they were good enough to lose in the deciding game more often than not in the opening round.
Yep.
Which meant they were not in the lottery, which meant they were picking 15 or 16 over and over again. The Steelers, once again, are picking in the 20s. And it's not just picking in the 20s in the first round. That's not the story. you're picking in the 20s every round.
Mm-hmm.
Every round you're picking in the 20s. And you're
also losing picks with the guys you're acquiring, which they did this year.
Yeah. And they lost some picks with the guys that, they lost picks with Metcalf, I think, among others. Did they lose a pick with Ramsey?
That's what I was wondering. I can't remember if they lost one with Ramsey or not.
Yeah.
Did the Dolphins trade him or the Rams? I'm trying to think of Dolphins.
The Dolphins did because Minka Fitzpatrick was there.
Yeah, Minka, you're right. So I'm wondering if they did lose a pick.
Usually the younger player is the team that acquires the younger player gives up the pick.
Gives up the pick, yeah. So I wonder if they got one from...
I think they picked up a pick from
Miami.
But that's where they are. They're in that no man's land where, they won the division. Yeah, they won 10 games. Yeah, but does anybody feel like you're making steps forward? And I don't think Steeler fans feel like they're making steps forward. Now, look at New England. Went for years, great, awesome, incredible, gold standard, blah, 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 6 Super Bowls. 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 wins. And relevant every year. They have Brady. They lose Brady. Then they go down or irrelevant. And they draft Drake May.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a great pick when they made it. It's like, that's a really good pick. Because I always liked Drake May. Do the Steeler fans have the patience, which I think they're developing a thicker skin about
I was going to say, I'm not sure they do at this point. Yeah.
Right? To do that for a couple of years to rebuild the team. That's going to be the tough part.
Absolutely.
All right.
The Steelers, by the way, did not get a draft pick on that. They got Jonnu Smith in that trade as well.
Oh, okay.
So giving up
a
fifth-round pick.
And Jonnu Smith ended up really being no factor for them.
No, especially last night.
But he was no factor all season.
No.
Freiermuth and Washington both played bigger roles.
Freiermuth is exponentially better.
I want to get to the Big Ten proposal on 24 playoff teams. They have until, 10 days from now, the 23rd?
Yep.
To decide what they're doing with the college football playoff, whether to expand it to 16 or if they don't, it'll stay at 12. The consensus appears to be they want to go to 16. Fine. The Big Ten keeps throwing out 24. So does Greg Sankey sit down with Tony Petitti and say, I'll back your 24, but it's got to be 3-4 years down the road. Let's pick 3. Because Sankey's going to be looking at a 2014 playoff and saying to himself, how many of my teams can I get in? Right now, just so everybody understands, the FCS, this is not an original idea.
Right.
The FCS, which Montana State just won, and by the way, they had 2.2 million viewers for that game on that Monday night. Pretty good number. They have a 2014 playoff. So 24 is not a new number. The FCS has done 2014 playoffs for, several years now.
Yeah.
It sounds gigantic because right now 12 feels big. 16, you can still fit 16 into the same weekend windows. You can't fit in 24.
No, you can't. That, I think, becomes a concern. That's the how far do you want to expand the season for college?
My opinion is you'd have to eliminate the championship weekend.
Which I think I'd be okay with. I think when you look at
that doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. There's certain teams don't play a conference championship. They're not a conference champion, and they have a deep playoff run. Miami Hurricanes being one. They didn't win the ACC. They're in the national championship right now.
Yeah.
So, I would not be.
They weren't even in the ACC championship game. They've never been.
Same with when Alabama won the title and beat LSU a couple of years back. Yeah, and then I wouldn't object to that at all. I think, would the conferences...
You think about that. Miami has not been in the ACC championship game
Since they joined the ACC,
ever. But yet tonight, that Monday night, they're the national championship.
Exactly.
Game. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Ohio State was in the Big Ten title game last year.
No.
Won the national championship.
Won the national title. So I think that would be because the money would be there.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what. So it doesn't matter, I think, having it, even though it – and you just would replace the ratings. If you have good matchups, the $18 million that Ohio State, Indiana got, the $16.5 million which Alabama and Georgia got, if you have the right matchups on that weekend to start out, you're going to get similar numbers to begin with anyway. So that's where they are right now. Can Tony Petitti, and I think he's going to have, if he's smart about this, give a little leeway to get what you want.
Right.
In other words, how many years out do you want to take this before we expand to 24? He and Sankey have to be the two to agree. Everybody else has to then join the party.
Sure, absolutely.
Don't be. My advice to him would be: don't sit there and say 2-3 years. Hear him out as to what he thinks, and then either come to a compromise or just sit back and say, you know what, we're going to eventually get what we want, so we'll go this route with assurances in writing that we're doing this. 24 is a lot.
It is, and I think 16 has got to be probably the next step to me. I think that the one that makes the most sense.
But they can't get to 16 unless they agree on the 24.
Yeah, absolutely, and that would be the biggest part for me. As far as you eliminate the championships, it's not as if. And look, each conference gets its own slot. There's no doubt about that, aside from the ACC, which Big Ten's going to have that primetime spot. But I don't think the conferences, as you said, I don't think they're going to object. And I don't think they'd even object to losing that TV rating because you're going to get it back with the playoff. So it's not as if you're going to lose it and completely just lose a day completely. It's not happening that way.
The NCAA basketball tournament, men's basketball tournament, 19% of the teams make the tournament.
Yeah.
19. If you go to 24, it's actually 17.5%.
Yeah.
It's 17.5%. There's 136 Division I FBS teams.
Yeah.
So you would have 17.5% at 24. I mean, okay, right now it's 9%.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at the NFL playoff model. They're going to make the argument, well, only 7 teams make the playoff. No, 14 make the playoff. So I think that's where you're looking at it. So you have just about almost the threshold of half that make the playoffs. So it's not unrealistic to get to 24, but I think it's more realistic to inch your way up. That's one of the things the NFL did correctly, was inch their way up, went from 6 to 7. And lowered that bye week, which you're going to, at some point, have to do in college football as well if you're going to increase the playoffs. But, that's the one thing. I think people are looking at it, and they're seeing the high number, and they're seeing the NFL and saying, well, there's only 7 now. Think about the fact that both conferences are there. So it's 14.
Yeah. All right. So that's the next step. To get to 16 and to get the Big Ten vote, Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti have to talk about 24 because Petitti wants to talk about 24. We'll see. And go to 16. It's, to me, see how it works for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Then if you want to
12 has obviously worked. I think you're excluding teams, but you're going to exclude teams if it's 45.
And my understanding is if they go to 16, there's a possibility that the top 2 teams actually get buys, that only 14 would play in the opening round. So, all right. Chris Vanini of The Athletic wrote a interesting article. They polled fans across the country. Here are their results. It's about your college football TV watching. Which network do you prefer for national game broadcasts? ESPN, ABC, 63%. CBS, 15%. Fox and Fox Sports 1, 12%. Third. NBC 7.6%, TNT 1.2%, the CW 0.9%. Which conference network do you prefer for games? Big Ten Network did very well.
Gotta say, that's gotta be
47%.
Yeah, absolutely has to be.
The SEC Network was next at 39%. The ACC Network 13%. Right. Announcers. What's your favorite broadcast team? 32.3%. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe.
Absolutely.
Sean McDonough, National Sportscaster of the Year. Greg McElroy and Molly McGrath were second at 17%. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Jenny Dell were third at 13.5%. In the fourth spot, Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, and Jenny Taft at 12.9%. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, and Catherine Tappan on NBC, 5.5%. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George on ESPN, 5.3%. Jason Benetti, Robert Griffin III, and Alexa Landestoy on Fox, 3.1%. Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, and Chris Budden of ESPN, 2.1%. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor, they did the Pinstripe Bowl, 1.6%. My old buddy Tom Hart, along with Jordan Rogers and Cole Kublik on the SEC Network, 1.1%. Matt Berry, Tom Luganville, and Harry Lyles, 1%. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh Sims, 1%. Wes Durham, my good friend and golfing buddy, who's great.
Absolutely.
Steve Adazio and Dana Boyle on ACC Network, 1%. Who's your favorite college football TV analyst, broadcaster, or studio? By a wide margin, number one, Kirk Herbstreit, 24.2%. Number two is Nick Saban, 13%. Joel Klatt of Fox is 8.7%. Greg McElroy, 6.5%. Gary Danielson, 5.8%. Todd Blackledge, 4.9%. Nicole Auerbach, 4.7%. She works on NBC.
Yeah.
Rick Neueisel on CBS, 4.2%. Here's the one, Pat McAfee, 3.9%. We'll get to that in a second. Bruce Feldman of Fox, 3.7%. Josh Pate, 2.7%. Desmond Howard, 2.4%. Brady Quinn, 1.9%. Chris Peterson of Fox, 1.9%. Joey Galloway of ESPN, 1.6%. Urban Meyer, 1.5%.
That's surprising. He does an outstanding job.
And Paul Feinbaum, 1.4%. Others receiving votes, Trevor Match, Louis Riddick, Booker McFarland, Jesse Palmer, Cole Kublik, Joshua Perry, Dave Portnoy, Brandon Walker, E.J. Manuel, Heather Dinich, Jake Butt, Roddy Jones, Ross Tucker, Tom Fernelli, Bud Elliott, Yogi Roth. Yogi and Ross are both really, really good. Dave Clausen, met Dave at a football practice one day, former Wake Forest coach, great guy. Robert Griffin, Champ Bailey. Okay. As for Herbstreit and Klatt saw a loss in numbers, but they're still like right up near the top.
And I think part of that is there could be a potential loss in viewership because people have cut the cord.
I'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But then there's the McAfee thing, and McAfee's numbers really fell. I will say this. It has nothing to do, zero to do with getting you ready for the game. But the field goal thing is fun.
Yeah.
It is.
I agree.
Do you prefer ESPN's College Game Day or Fox Big Noon Kickoff? Game Day.
Yeah.
How many do you think?
I would say Game Day has got to be probably in the 70, almost in the 60-70% range.
83.6%.
That's
Big Noon Kickoff, 16.4.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Here's the next one. How do you feel about Pat McAfee on College Game Day? Like it, 31.6%. No opinion, 18.9. Don't like it, 49.5. Get to that in a second. How do you feel about Nick Saban on College Game Day?
I think you gotta love it.
Like it, 73%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, don't like it, 13. No opinion, 13.7. Do you watch pregame shows more or less than you used to?
I think it has to be less.
I'm in that category.
I don't either.
I can't. I don't watch
Well,
I don't watch pregame shows for anything.
no, and we're busy enough on Saturdays to begin with.
Yeah, but I don't watch pregame shows for any sport.
No,
I don't.
but we have so many resources at this point that pregame shows are pretty much a week long.
But
If not longer, in some cases.
Remember, they can sell it, so I believe that's
of
the
course.
key. More 11%, less 61%.
Yeah.
No change 28%. As for McAfee's role on game day, it had improved in recent years, but the survey this year saw a fallback to half the respondents saying they don't like him on the show. Although several readers spoke up for him in the comments, especially his weekly segment in which students kick a field goal to win money, Saban continues to get very high marks for his role.
I think the other part with McAfee, there are a lot of people that when you put them in that role and they try to take over the show, I'm part of the show, I'm the star. He has never done that. I think he has done everything he could to fit in.
But remember, ESPN, they've made him the star of the show.
They've made him. Absolutely. Yeah,
so
that's not by fault of his own.
He is forced to be the star of the show.
Which he doesn't want to be. It's clear. And this is a guy that has tried to coexist with his analysts. And I think his chemistry with Nick Saban has gotten exponentially better from what little I've seen. That's the other part of it. I think that's how do you coexist? And Dennis Miller did a great job with this on Monday Night Football. Did he add valuable insight that you're never going to forget? No. But did he fit in better? Yeah, I think he did.
I remember talking to Dennis Miller one time. He thought it was the greatest thing on the face of the earth because he's a huge Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Right. He said, Steve, you get to work with Jack Ham every week.
Yeah.
Dennis is funny.
He was outstanding in his role.
Personally, I like him personally. As a person, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He had one of the great lines ever. He says, hey, say he's out with a mild groin injury. He looks over, he says, there's no such thing as a mild groin injury.
He's not wrong about that.
Said, do you believe TV networks are biased towards certain conferences?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
There's not a doubt on that.
87%, no 13%.
No, that's a yes.
Do you believe TV networks play an active role in driving college football playoff selections or expansion? Yes, 82.5%, no 17.5%.
Notre Dame fans voted 99% on that one, right?
Yeah. What form of TV do you typically use to watch college football? Number one, YouTube TV.
Yeah, I figured it was some sort of streaming.
38.4%. Cable, satellite, 36.7. It's right behind it. Then after that, Hulu, 9.2, DirecTV, 4.6, Antenna, 3.1, Fubo, 2.5, Sling, 1.4. So it's between YouTube TV and cable now is how you watch.
Not stunning, but I think a little bit surprising to how far DirecTV has fallen. I think that's the network that had, or another company that had Sunday Ticket for many years, and now it is almost non-existent.
Have you watched the college football game on the CW or TNT this season? Yes, both 34-6. No, 29-9. Yes, TNT 27-6. Yes, the CW 8%. Okay. Have you paid for a streaming-only service like ESPN Plus or Peacock specifically to watch college football? 34% said yes.
I was going to say probably a percentage, but not enough.
66% said no. How many hours of college football do you typically watch a week? 4 to 8, 56%. 8 to 12, 21%. Less than 4 hours, 17.9. More than 12 hours, 4.9.
That tells me the audience has become more selective. There's no doubt about that. They become more selective. They don't necessarily have the resources they used to have anymore that because of the cost of things have gone up so much.
How often do you watch a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday group of 5 game? Rarely, if ever, 56%. Once a month, 23%. At least once a week, 21%. Okay.
That's why, as well as Amazon has done with the NFL, it's still tough having those Thursday night games for that exact reason. I just think weeknights people are busy. They have a lot going on. They've got to be up early in the morning. Most of the audience does, not all, but a good chunk. And that's why I think the weeknight games, though they're for the diehard fan, they're great. The casual fan, I don't think they are.
Well, for Conference USA and the Mid-American Conference, this is their way to get
That's
exposure.
their way to get exposure. Absolutely.
And, of course, there's nobody in the stands when
No.
they play these games.
No.
But it's the only way they can get, let's watch Miami of Ohio play Toledo. Okay. I mean, that's how they can do it. How do you feel about the increase in Friday night college football?
I don't like it personally. I'm old school in the sense that it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday high school, Saturday college, Sunday pro.
Okay. I'm a hypocrite on Friday night football. I don't like it. I watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. If I can. Yeah, obviously.
Well, I mean, you're broadcasting high school games. I don't like it because I think Friday night should be for high school football.
I agree. Friday for high school, Saturday for college, Sunday pro. That's how I've always been.
If I'm sitting there at home on a Friday night, and I think the game's interesting, I'll watch it.
Sure, same here.
If I'm on the road.
And the games have gotten better. You're seeing ranked teams playing Friday night consistently.
I mean, Friday night on the road, when I'm on the road in the hotel,
sure.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to go on the road to a game at Ohio State and think, hey, look, this is going to be great. Westerville is playing. No, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it. Like it, 36%. Don't like it, 40%. No opinion, 24%. How many non-college football playoff bowl games did you watch in December? 0 to 5, 57%.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I think the ratings are good. But they've been great.
Good?
But
they're not just good.
Yeah, they've been great.
No.
But
phenomenal. I'm sorry.
Pinstripe Bowl was incredible. Yeah.
Right? Pinstripe Bowl, Pop-Tarts Bowl,
Yeah.
Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? Their TV networks are airing.
Sure.
Okay?
And part of that
NBC
is their audience
has
is home.
SVU on whatever. I think they'd be aching to get some of the ratings.
No, there's
they're
no
getting
doubt.
on
Yeah.
that. Let's
Placement,
see.
I think, is key with bowl games because you got to know when your audience is going to be home for the holiday, which a lot of people are, and that's where you want to put that slot.
I mean, when you look at the TV ratings from 23 for college bowl games, in 24 over 23, they increased 14% in ratings. From 24 to 25 this past cycle, they increased again, this time by 13%. Ratings are up 27%.
Sure.
From 2 years ago. And that's why I did that segment last week about worthless exhibitions. Okay. I don't know where people come up with the language. They're worthless exhibitions. Excuse me. It's a game.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yeah. It's competitive.
Right?
Game.
This isn't a flag football game.
No. It's a building moment for a lot of teams.
The Pro Bowl is a worthless exhibition.
That's going so downhill it should be non-existent.
Right? But you got people playing.
Yes.
And I've told the story a couple times already, but I've used it as an example. I'm sitting there on Christmas Eve. Life has settled down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's 9 o'clock at night. Flip on the TV. Hawaii's playing Cal in the Hawaii Bowl. I think I picked it up in the second quarter. Put my feet up for about an hour and a half, watch the game.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody straight out. The only way I would know anything about either team is if I was getting ready for a Penn State game and one of the Penn State opponents that they were played Cal and I watched the tape. Or they played Hawaii and I watched the tape. Right? So I know nobody on either team. But it looked like a fun, competitive game. And I'm watching this fun, competitive game, and I'm watching Hawaii come back after Cal build a lead and all that. It didn't matter to me. I didn't know who was out there. I couldn't tell you in a million years who opted out, who opted in. It didn't matter. It looked like it was a good, fun game. That's all that mattered to me. And I watched it. It was relaxing, and I enjoyed it. How do you feel about the length of broadcasts? Oh, here we go. Too long, 59%.
That was a given.
Too short, 1.4. No opinion, 39.
No opinion is you're a fan and you're not even noticing how long it is.
That's right. But too long, 59%. That's right. It is too long. And how many times have you found yourself with the remote and you'll click over to a game? I don't care what sport it is. Like, you're watching something and I'm going to click over and check the Penguins, or I'm going to click over and check the NBA game, just see what the score is. And they're in a commercial break.
Yeah. Consistently.
Like all the time. Every time I turn around, they're in commercial breaks.
Big Noon's a 4-hour game anymore.
College football.
Almost always.
People are going to hate when I say this, okay? But I think it's important for them to take a look at the model that is in front of them. Okay? You have to start, believe it or not, and shave 8 minutes off the game by doing what?
Having less timeouts would be more important. TV timeouts.
Right. Yeah. That's really not going to happen. But if I were, how can you shave 8 minutes off? Halftime. You need to start games. Okay, when they tell you it's a 7:30 kickoff. Kickoff should be 7:32.
7:30 or exactly.
Should be 7:32.
It's absolutely
noon
not.
Kickoff. You should be kicking off at 12:01. So now we're going to shave 11 minutes off there.
Very easily.
Let's kick at 12:01. 3:30 kickoff. You kick at 3:32.
Yep.
Not at 3:38, 3:39.
Well, it's not even that.
Okay? So now between those two things, 8 minutes at halftime. And 7 minutes on start time, I've shaved 15 minutes off.
Yeah, and the other part of it is it's not only 5-6 minutes. Penn State and Oregon kicked off 7:40. It was a very late kickoff.
Right, exactly.
It was like 20 minutes after 7:30.
Right. It should have been 7:32, 18 minutes off.
Yes.
Right. Halftime. All of you treasure the blue band. They're great.
Sure.
I'm not telling them they can't perform. But, and especially in a bowl game. I mean, you realize in bowl game, halftime is 22 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
It's actually longer.
Longer for the national title, for sure.
Right. But just a playoff game is longer. It's 22 minutes. Right. No. You can we already know that they're a TV show. Football and basketball are TV shows. That's why do you think we don't even have a sequence yet for Penn State football games? We know who the opponents are. We just don't know what the sequence of games happen to be.
Yeah.
Right? Why is it we don't get a Penn State football schedule until, a Penn State basketball schedule until the third week of September?
Wrestling's gotten even later.
Right? Wrestling's later. Hockey was in August. I mean, it's ridiculous. But in terms of being a TV show, I'll never forget this story. Wrestling had been fighting for years, wrestling fans. We need to be on TV more. We're a great sport. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Especially now.
Okay. No, but I'm just saying, but this is this is a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I agree.
So Penn State is going to wrestle Ohio State. I think Ohio State may have been ranked 2 at the time, whatever. It's going to be in the Jordan Center. It's a Jordan Center dual meet. So there's going to be 15,000 people there. And the line of traffic, I remember I came out of a practice, and the line of traffic was all the way down College Avenue. And people started complaining. They called the show. 6 o'clock start on a Friday night. That's absolutely ridiculous. Da, 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 da. And I'm listening to them. Now, are they wrong?
Nope.
No, they're not wrong. Not in the least. Right? I completely agree with them that that's wrong. And then I said, but all of you want Penn State wrestling to be on TV. I said, now you understand the life I lead. I said, okay. I said, Penn State basketball and Penn State football play at all different times. Noon, 3:30, 4, 4:30, 6, 7:30, 8. Okay? Basketball. Could be a Monday, Ohio State. Could be a Sunday, Minnesota. Could be a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Could be a 9 p.m. tip-off.
Could be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Could be Thursday. Gee,
Absolutely.
Penn State's playing a Friday game. Right? Could be a Saturday. Could be a Sunday. It could be at noon.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually done games at 10 a.m.
Uh-huh.
I've done games at 11
a.m.
I've done them at noon.
11 o'clock at night almost.
Right? Washington will be 10:30 Eastern time.
Yep.
Washington will be 10:30 Eastern time, 7:30 out there.
That international trip they took a few years back, those game times were interesting. I can't even remember where it was.
With the Cancun games?
I think it was at Cancun, yeah.
Yeah, Cancun, interesting time.
Yep.
I did games at Wyoming, where being the second game that night, the game tipped off after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the game was in Mountain Time. And they had to wait for the first game between Wyoming and Gonzaga to conclude.
I remember that.
So I'm out there doing the Penn State Southern Illinois game. And it's, we were off the air at 2:30 in the morning Eastern time. Because that's just the way the schedule goes. Because you are a TV show. You're fitting you into TV time slots.
Sure.
And for wrestling fans, that was a huge education. Because if you want to be on TV, you have to acquiesce to what they tell you to do.
Certainly.
And if the time slot that is open is 6 to 8, you get 6 to 8. If the time slot's 8 to 10, you get 8 to 10.
Yeah. And what's before or after plays a role.
Right.
There's no question about it.
Right. And, and again, were the fans right? Absolutely.
Sure.
And my problem with all of this has been that you can be so cloistered as a TV executive, and maybe even so cloistered as maybe a commissioner, that are you forgetting about the people who buy the tickets?
Yes, but I also think it's, do they care enough about the people that buy the tickets? I think would be the better question, because I'm not sure that answer is yes. That would be the.
They'll put out the press release bragging that the Big Ten attracted more fans than anybody. They'll put out the press release.
They'll have no problem doing that, but then they'll announce a game time 6 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Six days out, they do it like.
Yep.
I mean, over here, you're not good at your job.
Yeah.
If you can't figure out 12 days ahead,
that's got nothing to do with the schools either. I think so many people feel like it has to do with schools. They got nothing to do with it.
They're a hostage like everybody else. They're just waiting to hear.
I can't tell you how many times I heard, could Penn State schedule a primetime game in late November with 6 days' notice? They didn't.
They didn't schedule it.
They didn't at all.
The conference and the networks agreed to it. But if you can't tell what a good game is 12 days out, you should lose your job.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
If you can't figure it out.
Absolutely agree.
And I don't understand why the Big Ten has not led the way by doing, you know what? Let's copycat what works.
Yeah, which is the NFL. Yeah, absolutely.
So in May, they do a schedule release.
Yeah.
And then in the last month of the season, you have flexes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I've always used Indiana as the perfect example of a flex. You put out your schedule, and then suddenly it's like, wow, Indiana is really good. This is a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make sure that Ohio State game is on national TV. Maybe we should flex that game. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. We had it scheduled for.
Yeah.
Maybe we should flex that game.
Yeah.
They should do a full schedule release, like in terms of like networks and times in May for every game.
Sure.
For every game.
You could.
Right?
Yeah.
And then with the idea of the last month, you have the ability to flex.
Absolutely.
That way the fans know. It's one thing I've always given Notre Dame credit about its deal with NBC. You always know the kickoff times ahead of time, and fans can plan their lives. Let's see. What's the biggest issue with watching college football on TV? Too many commercials, 67%. Too hard to change between games, 10%. That's because of streaming.
Because of streaming, yep.
Right. Poor broadcast quality or poor announcers, 8.7%. Too expensive, 5.7%. Too many games, 2.7%. Have you ever decided against attending a game because of the TV experience at home? 41% said yes, 59% said no. If you could have any college football play-by-play announcer in history call your team's game, who would it be?
History, it's got to be Keith Jackson.
48.4%. Vern Lundquist was next at 10.
Not surprising.
Brent Musburger, 9%. Al Michaels, 4.5%. Mike Tirico, 4%. Chris Fowler, 3.7%. Gus Johnson, 3.3%. Larry Munson, the Georgia voice, 3.3%.
How much college did Al Michaels do?
The only Penn State game he ever did was the Penn State Pitt game in 1979.
Okay, I was going to say, because I don't remember him doing a lot of college.
That's the only time I ever met him.
Okay.
It's the only time I ever met him. Dick Enberg, 2.8. Sean McDonough, 2.1. Lindsey Nelson, 1.7. He was the voice of Notre Dame.
McDonough's underrated. I think he's outstanding.
McDonough's great at everything. Yeah, he's great at everything he does.
I agree.
He's just a great, great dude. Brad Nessler, 1.6, another great guy.
Yeah, Nessler should be a lot higher than that. Nessler's incredible.
Ian Eagle, 1.5, Ron Franklin, 1.4. Well, when one guy gets 40%,
exactly.
Everything's
you're
out.
competing with incredible
Others
voices.
getting votes included Jason Benetti, Joe Tessitore, Noah Eagle, Bob Wischusen, John Ward, Tennessee, Eric Collins. You can see a lot of SEC guys here. Kevin Harlan, Bob Ufer, Michigan, Kurt Gowdy, Paul Burmeister, Tim Brando, Howard Cosell, Mike Leach, Bob Greasy, Don Cricky, Jack Buck, Vince Scully, Chris Berman. Okay. And that was the article there by Chris Vanini of The Athletic.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And that's not a lot of surprises on it, I didn't think. I think there's a couple things that stick out. I think, obviously, you knew Fox's numbers were going to be down. Because I think everything.
What's interesting is, whose name did not show up in the survey was Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy, yeah.
Didn't show up.
Showed up on was it the game day host or that part of it where McAfee? Portnoy was in there somewhere.
No.
I think you read his name once.
I don't think so.
I thought it was maybe as a host or an analyst or something like that. He was in there one time. But
I don't think his name is on here. To be honest with you, I don't think so.
But either way, did he add a lot to the Big Noon? I don't think so. I don't think
I ever once saw him on.
No,
because again, I don't watch this stuff.
No, and I don't either.
No offense. I mean, with all due respect, I'm sort of.
And part of that is there's so many. And look, corporate America has dominated things for good and for bad, and that part of that is Barstool's partnership with Fox. You're going to have him on there, and you're promoting his morning show, which you also have on TV at this point now. So,
Portnoy is not on here.
He's not. I thought I saw him on the analyst list somewhere.
Pate, Howard, Quinn, Peterson, Galloway, Urban Meyer, Paul Feinbaum. Yep. Others receiving votes: Maddich, Riddick, Booger McFarland, Jesse Palmer, Kublik, Perry. Okay, Dave Portnoy is the others receiving
I know
votes.
I heard his name, but yeah.
Okay, others receiving votes. I mean, really?
Urban Meyer is the one that is surprising because he's sort of Fox's version of Nick Saban. I think he does. His reputation hurts him. There's no doubt about that. As an analyst, as he breaks down film, I think he does an outstanding job. But that reputation's going to hurt him, and it has.
You know who didn't get rated in here was the NBC crew in Notre Dame: Dan Hicks, Jason Garrett, and Zora.
And they do a pretty good job.
Yeah,
do a pretty good job.
They didn't actually get in here. The part about Urban Meyer is this: if you actually take the name off,
then you just listen to the analyst.
What he says,
exactly.
You learn more about the game.
I fully agree. Yep.
You learn more about the game.
I fully
agree.
When
Nick Saban talks, you learn more about the game.
You completely learn.
When Urban Meyer talks, you learn more about the game. The difference is Urban Meyer, despite the fact that Nick Saban won, Urban Meyer is an exponentially more polarizing figure.
Yeah.
In part because of the coaching beat, as opposed to Nick Saban, who's his life has revolved around Miss Terry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
And again, I'm trying. I think I met Meyer once.
Met Meyer a couple times. Met Saban only one time.
Oh, I met Saban.
Yeah.
I've talked to Saban a few times.
Yeah,
because
only met Saban one time.
Saban played college football with Jack Lambert.
Yep.
So he always wants to come over to talk to Jack, and Jack and I are always standing together at practice. So I'm a part of the conversation. I'm kind of like, hey, there's Nick Saban, Jack Ham, and some other guy. I'm the other guy. Yeah.
Urban Meyer will teach you. I think that's the one thing I've learned in the times I've met him.
So does
Nick Saban. Absolutely. There's no doubt.
You learn more about
Did I learn
game.
from Urban Meyer? Certainly. The times I've talked to him, absolutely. But, that's... But Saban... I like how Saban... You talk about Miss Terry. He's used his reputation and made fun of it to an extent. You look at the commercials he's in. I think they're terrific.
Well, he showed personality.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
This is where Tom Brady is helping himself.
Oh, that's huge.
Have you seen the latest Pizza Hut commercials?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep.
I miss saying Hut.
Yeah.
Right? And he said some woman plows it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't miss that.
Don't miss that.
Right? And not only that, but Brady is take your biases aside.
Take the name off. He sounds great. I agree.
Brady is fabulous.
And how much he's developed. He's just gotten so much better.
Okay, a year ago, it was like a work in progress.
Yeah.
And he got better and better. And I thought it was the NFC Championship game last year with the Eagles and the Commanders. He was great.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, he was all right.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't really much to talk about the Super Bowl. It was a rout.
No, it was a rout.
This year, he's terrific. I mean, he's out there the other night on the game talking about the wind and how you need to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. He played a lot of wind at Gillette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sit there and go, guess what?
That
As a fan, you just learn more about the game.
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things that we were taught when we were younger breaking into broadcasting. You're broadcasting a game, then one of the big questions you have to ask, did your viewer or listener learn from you?
See, and that's what I'd say about Jack Ham and Dick Girardi all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was a quarterback club a year ago, and they put a guest speaker up before everybody else, and for whatever, they said, hey, could you start off and be the guest speaker this week? I said, okay. And when I got up there, one of the points I made to them is that I hope Penn State fans understand and appreciate how good you have it on your broadcast with your analysts. Because I will flip around on Sirius XM, and sure, I hear some good ones. Okay? So, not everybody's bad. But Jack Ham and Dick Girardi are exceptional. They do the game differently than everybody else. Jack sees all the 22 pieces on the field.
Yep.
Dick sees everything as it's developing and happening.
Absolutely.
You have two guys that are telling you what. Well, I'll tell you what, but they'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why. Yep.
Okay? They'll tell you why or why not all the time. And I told the group, I said, I hope you understand and realize how good you have it as fans that these are your two analysts on your primary sports. And because when the game is over, and you listen to Jack Ham, you know more about the game, and you probably know a little bit more about the sport. When the game is over with Dick Girardi, you know a little bit more about the game, and you know a little bit more about the sport. Doesn't get any better than that.
Agreed.
The prime beneficiary is me. Seriously. I'm the prime beneficiary. I get to work with two guys that good. I remember somebody said, you don't talk as much as other people on broadcasts. And I said, there's a reason. I said, because I want those guys talking because they're just great at what they do. I said, I could care less. I'm not paid by the word. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I had people say, gee, sometimes you don't take it over until 12 or 15 seconds ago in the shot clock. I said, who cares? Nothing's happening.
No.
I said, they're over there making the broadcast better. They're educating fans. They're making the experience for the fan better.
Agreed.
I'm supposed to get in their way? I'm not going to get in their way.
Yeah. Certain ones do, and it makes the broadcast worse.
Yeah, but
there's no doubt.
I've never cared about that.
No, and it's the right thing to do. Not caring about it.
Because those...
They're adding...
If I took away words from them, I would be doing a bad job.
Exactly. You're taking away what is
It's like,
Helping the listener.
I'm the luckiest guy in the face of the earth. I get to sit there and work with them. It's like, what the heck? But I made that point to them. I said, look, I hope you as fans understand actually how good you have it compared to other fan bases in the country because of those two guys.
Absolutely.
By the way, 12 Penn State players advancing. Daquan Jones, Connor McGovern, Bills, Ryan Bates, Jaquan Brisker with the Bears, Jalen Reed, who couldn't play last night, but I think he'll play next week, and Juice Scruggs with the Texans, Jesse Luketa with the Rams, Caden Wallace with the Patriots, Jair Brown, Kevin Givens, Yetur Gross-Matos with the 49ers, and Chris Stahl, the snapper for the Seahawks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if Brown will play this week. I think that hamstring is...
Yeah, he had to leave the game.
The hamstring is serious enough that I think will probably keep him out Saturday, unfortunately.
Well, you need to overcome certain things.
Yeah, it's not like the 49ers have overcome injuries this year. They've got to get used to that.
George Kittle. And that's the night game, right?
That is the night game, Saturday night. Yep, 8 o'clock.
So weird. Denver and Seattle are great defensive teams.
Yeah.
Not good defensive. They're great defensive teams.
Yeah.
And they're both really challenged offensively.
Yeah. Part of that, I think, in Seattle is the quarterback. You're just, in the past with Sam Darnold, you're just waiting for that.
That's the quarterback in Denver, too.
There's no doubt. Nix has got, well, how much better does Peyton make Nix? I think he does. But that's, there's no doubt he's got his flaws. Agreed.
Big problem. I told you, quarterback play in this league, we can make a big deal.
That's why they make the big money.
Okay, but it's a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, there are not a lot of great quarterbacks in the league.
No.
There are not a lot of quarterbacks in this league that could cross over eras.
No, I agree.
Right?
Yeah, not at all.
Okay. 10 years ago, there were.
Yes.
10 years ago, there were.
Yeah.
Like guys that could have played in any era, any time. They're just really good, could really spin it. These guys can't do it. You're watching last night's game. How many passes were behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah. The other part of it also is how much they've changed the game for offensively. The quarterback, I don't want to say the quarterbacks of years past were tougher. They took more hits. Took more hits because the defense was able to do a lot more.
What was that? One Jack Lambert. Yeah, what are you going to do? Put him in a dress? Jack Lambert. I'll tell you right now, Lambert, you talk to Jack. I've talked to a number of Jack's teammates. Lambert give you the shirt off his back.
Nice.
It's that kind
never
of
met Jack. Yeah. Hey, Lambert.
Lambert I've never met.
No, I've never met Lambert.
No, I never met
Never
Lambert.
met Lambert.
All right. And I'm not going to go to some secluded cabin to find him either.
No.
But they'll all tell you give him the shirt off his back. He's a great guy. So, all right. It's great to see your hair drying.
That's right.
You told me you were going to work out. I didn't realize it was going to be the 100-meter butterfly.
That's right. Got to take on Michael Phelps and get one of his 87 gold medals.
Interviewed Phelps once.
I remember. I was there for that. I remember that.
I did the event.
Yep, the one in the hub. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
No, it's like somebody. I was talking to Pat Kraft the other day. He didn't realize that.
Yeah, I definitely remember.
I interviewed Michael Jordan.
I did know that. Yep, I did know about that.
And he said, "How did that happen?" I said, "They were playing for the Wizards."
Was that when they were here for the Sixers game? Yeah, I do remember that.
And I requested an interview with Jordan.
That's awesome.
Okay. And this is after the game. And I said to Pat, I said, the in was easy because Doug Collins was the coach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Jordan's rookie coach.
Who is the godfather of Doug Collins' daughter?
Uh-huh.
Jack Ham.
Jack Ham.
He says, what?
Yeah.
I said, Jack and Joanne are the godparents. I said, because they have the same agent. So that's how I got to know Doug.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned it, Doug says, I'll make it happen.
That's awesome.
Right.
Just
Jordan gave me like 15 minutes.
That's great. Yeah, that's
right? And not only that, comes out, jacket, tie,
I was just about to say that. A guy that understands who he is.
Pressed. And that's what I told Pat.
Yeah.
That's what I told Pat Kraft the other day. I said, Pat, he said, what was he like? I said, he knew exactly who he was.
Exactly. Understands who he is. He's not going to shoot his mouth on things that a lot of these current superstars do. Yeah. And that's what made him so great. To me, in an era, and again, I've never been one for hot takes. But to me, for an era, there's nobody that's impacted his sport more. I'm not going to call him the greatest athlete of all time. I saw Bo Jackson. But to me, I saw Jim. I didn't see Jim Thorpe.
And unbeknownst to people, I did not see Jim Thorpe.
No, I was going to say, we didn't see Jim Thorpe. But in terms of somebody that's marketed and impacted a generation in a sport more, I don't think there's ever been one. To me, Jordan and he understood that, and he took the game to another level.
Every time you watched Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic, it was Jordan and the Dream Team in '92 that opened the door for Europe.
1,000%. So, absolutely agree.
All right. We went way over today. It's because you wouldn't shut up.
That's right.